Welcome to the Millcreek Government Channel. I am Judy Zelina. And today on our program, we have a representative from the American Cancer Society joining us. And the American Cancer Society is passionately committed to fighting every cancer and helping every community. And joining us is Karen Jekyll. And Karen, you are the Senior Market Manager for Community Engagement.
Correct.
Which I have found out, by the way, is just like a little bit of everything.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Very much a little bit of everything.
We are so glad to have you on board. I know we're going to be talking about the American Cancer Society finishing the fight against cancer.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm interested to hear all the programs you have in place and involved. But first off, tell me a little bit about you. How long have you been with the Cancer Society?
I've been with the American Cancer Society for over 20 years. Over that 20-year period, my position has changed a lot, but currently I'm Senior Market Manager for Community Engagement, which has me working with our Volunteer Leadership Council, also working with some larger businesses in the Northwest Pennsylvania area, and then doing things like this, helping people understand who we are and what we do and how they can invest with us to end the fight against cancer.
So basically just getting the word out.
Yes,
and
very
letting
much.
people know what you have to offer
Right.
to the community.
And how they can join us.
And you guys do a great job. First off, though, Karen, let's kind of talk about cancer's impact and just give us some facts and figures.
Okay, great.
You know, where we are to date.
Okay. Well, there are 1.6 million, we're expected to have 1.6 million new cancer cases diagnosed in the United States this year, and about 590,000 people will die from cancer. But the good news is we have about 14.5 million cancer survivors, and that's great. In fact, the survival rate has really increased between 1995 and 1997. When you were diagnosed with cancer, your survival rate was expected to be about 50%. Today we're looking at a 5-year survival rate of more than 69%. So we're making progress, and there are lots of survivors out there that can attest to the progress that's being made in this fight against cancer.
Well, you have to, I guess, with every year, you're getting more knowledge. There's so much research, which we're going to go into research and you know how the American Cancer Society works with research. But there's so much research and so many breakthroughs.
Correct.
You know, and I know right now you're talking about finishing the fight against cancer. So how is the American Cancer Society finishing the fight against cancer?
Well, we help people get well, stay well, finding cures, and then we advocate for policies that are going to make a difference. When I talk about helping people get well, we have many programs and services. So once somebody has been diagnosed with cancer, the first thing I would recommend to them or their family is to call the American Cancer Society or get on our website, because information is the key. And our 800 number, I know a lot of people don't like 800 numbers, but as I was telling you earlier, Judy, I've worked there for 20 years. I still call the 800 number when I have a family member or a friend who's been diagnosed with cancer. They will tell you information about the disease, about your treatment options, give you ideas on how to talk to your doctor, and let you know what the programs and resources are available in your community. Those provided by the American Cancer Society and the other resources that are available. So like I said, I call every time somebody's been diagnosed. Unfortunately, I've had to call a few times over the past few years, but I highly recommend. The other thing about our 800 number, and these are two stories that just touch my heart. There was a husband and a wife, and it was Christmas Eve, and they were preparing dinner. She had been diagnosed with cancer, and she had started her chemotherapy. Her hair decided to fall out while she was preparing dinner. She was upset, and he didn't know how to help her. On Christmas Eve, he called our 800 number. Our office, local office, wasn't open. There was somebody at our 800 number. They talked to him. They gave him ideas and things that he could do right then and there to help her, but also resources for after the holidays, where she might be able to go to find a wig, our Look Good, Feel Better program, resources to help them get through that. And our 800 number is there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So and there's another story of a little boy whose mom was diagnosed with cancer, and for a couple-week period, he'd call every day.
Really?
He'd call every day to talk to somebody because he just had questions and he had fears, and they would talk to him. So,
geez.
so, like I said, a lot of people don't like the 800 number,
Right.
but please, if you have a family member, if you yourself have been diagnosed with cancer, start with our 800 number. It'll give you programs, services, resources, information, and ideas on what you should talk to your doctor about.
And I think it's important to point out to our viewers also that don't be afraid to call the 800 number and ask any question.
Right, right.
Because don't think, well, they're going to think that's a really stupid question. They're going to think I'm really stupid because I don't know the answer to that. Well, of course you don't know the answer to that.
Right.
You're not a pro with cancer.
Right.
So you're calling the pros. It'd just be like your automobile. If something's wrong with my car and it's not working, I'm not going to be the one to fix it. I'm going to go to somebody who knows what they're doing.
Right, right.
So if you look at it that way, so no question.
There's no stupid question.
No, there
There's
isn't.
absolutely no stupid question. And the more information that you or your family member has, the better decisions you're going to be able to make about your treatment and the decisions you want to make to improve the quality of your life.
Okay. Tell me, you talked about prevention.
Yes.
What are some of the prevention initiatives that you have in place?
Well, a lot of people don't know that the American Cancer Society and our team of researchers, and they help to develop a lot of the guidelines that doctors use for screening. And screening and prevention and detection is key. If you can find a cancer early at its more treatable stage, you're going to have a better survival rate. So we're involved in preparing a lot of those cancer screening guidelines. But another huge initiative that we're involved in, along with the National Colorectal Roundtable, it's a joint venture of many organizations, but it's 80 by 2018, and that's increasing colorectal screening to 80% by 2018. Right now in the state of Pennsylvania and nationwide, it's an average of like 65% of people who are age appropriate are getting screened for colorectal cancer. The key is, with colorectal cancer, if you find it early and find it as a polyp, a precancerous, remove the polyp, you have actually prevented a cancer. So that's one of the huge initiatives. People that are 50 and older who have had no family history, where they should talk to their doctor about what screening method is right for them. And there are several options for screening methods, and they need to talk to the doctor about which one is right for them, and the best test is the test that they will do. So
that's very important.
Right. Right.
The
Colorectal screening, and people that are 50 and older should talk to their doctor, should get some type of screening test. And there's several
What if
options.
what if I have a history of it in my family?
If you have a history,
Do I wait till 50?
No. If you have a history of colorectal cancer in your family, if you've had family members who have had polyps removed, you need to be talking to your doctor earlier, let them know. It's really key in prevention and early detection to have those conversations with your doctor and let them know. Investigate your family history as much as you can. Know what family markers you might already have. Those will indicate whether you need to go get some type of screening test earlier. You know, if you have someone in your family who has had breast cancer, a mother, aunt, sister, then you need to start screening earlier or more often, but you need to talk to your doctor about what to do.
Okay. That's the key, is communication with your
Right.
doctor. But I also have to mention, we are very fortunate right here in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Right.
Because not only do we have, we've got so many resources and facilities that are in driving distance.
Right.
So people have so many options. They have the Cancer Center here, they've got Roswell, they have Cleveland, they have Pittsburgh. So we really are fortunate.
Right. Right. And the other thing is too is, we all need to be advocates for our own health. So it's important that you're comfortable with your doctor and your treatment center, and it never hurts to get a second opinion.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And that way you feel confident that you're on the right track and doing the right thing.
Right.
I also wanted to talk about, you have so many programs, and I know our viewers are just not familiar with even half of the programs that you have for patients and their families.
Right.
Can we go over some of these programs and let our viewers know what's involved in them?
Great. Yeah, I'd love to share that. A lot of people don't know that we had things to offer. And one of the saddest things is having a conversation and talking to somebody who'd been diagnosed with cancer and then finding out as I'm talking to them about what we do. And they'll say, no one ever told me. So thank you so much for letting us be here and talk about what we do. Locally, we have a lot of strong programs, one of which is called our Road to Recovery program. And it utilizes volunteer drivers that will help people get to and from their cancer treatments if they don't have any other way to get there. And we have volunteers that will take patients to Buffalo, to Cleveland, to Pittsburgh, and also locally. So that's a really unique program, and it's free. You just call our 800 number when you need a ride. Give us as much notice, obviously, because we're working with volunteers. But then they will match the patient with a driver, and we've had many drivers and patients become friends because they've taken them to their treatments, and maybe they take them very regularly, and then they develop a friendship. We're always looking for volunteers that are willing to do that as well. So that's a program that we have a lot of wonderful volunteers, but being Erie, a lot of people like to go south in the winter. So sometimes our volunteer corps is a little smaller in the winter. So always looking for volunteers. Another wonderful program that we do in conjunction with the Personal Care Products Foundation and the National Cosmetology Association is Look Good, Feel Better. And that's a wonderful program that helps women who are going through treatment deal with the side effects. Not just the loss of their hair, but gives them skin care tips and makeup tips. They learn to do scarves and turbans. They also nail care, all things that can be impacted. And it's a wonderful program. They come together. They may not be sure, they may not even know that they want to come to the program, and they leave smiling. And one lady went to the program and had a photo shoot with her family afterwards.
Did she really?
She did.
Oh, what a great idea.
It was just a wonderful experience. But they come together as they're learning these tips and tricks. They're talking with each other, sharing, and they realize that they're not alone in this journey, and that other people are feeling some of the same things they are. And so it's a wonderful support program. Plus, they learn a lot of tips and tricks, even how to take a T-shirt and make it into a turban. So it's really fun things. So,
well, yeah. I want to learn that trick. Yeah. I never learned that one.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. So, yeah.
And I think that one of the most important things that you said there, too, is that they realize they're not alone.
Right.
Because when you're going through chemo and you're going through radiation, you're going through treatments, you're the one that's not feeling well. You're the one that is losing your hair, your complexion is getting sullen, and you're losing weight or gaining, depending on what you're taking. You just feel like you're all alone, that nobody understands.
Right.
You've got support, but they just don't really know what you're going through. This way you're meeting other people that they're in the same boat.
Right. And it's not an issue of vanity in any way, shape, or form. But when you don't feel good, sometimes you don't look good. If you don't look good and you don't feel good, then you just feel like, oh, I really don't feel good. And they even learn things, colors and things that will bring, that they should wear while they're going through their treatment to help just lift their whole spirit. The other program that we have is called our Free Wig Salon, and we have wigs that they're new wigs. They're all new wigs. We don't do any used wigs. And then we also have a partnership with Pantene, and it's called Pantene Beautiful Lengths. And people can donate their hair, and they create human hair wigs that we are able to distribute through our Free Wig Salons. And locally, you just call our 800 number. We have a wonderful volunteer, and they will make an appointment for you to meet them at their place of business, and they will help you pick out a wig, and they'll help you style it. And so when you leave, you leave and you have a wig that you can wear, and they're nice. They're very nice wigs.
So you have local wig shops that you work with?
We actually have our own. We have We have a volunteer who has a business, and all of our wigs are at their place of business,
Oh,
and so they
okay.
make an appointment with that volunteer.
All right.
And then they can go in, she works with them. She's also a cancer survivor, so she works with them. They pick out a wig, and then she can style it for them, and so when they leave, it's free. They have a free wig.
Well, that'll brighten you up right then and
that's
there,
right,
that wig.
right, yeah, yes. Some of the other programs we have are, a lot of people have questions and about a lot of different topics. And one of the programs that we had, we used to do them in local classes, but depending on how people were feeling, they weren't always coming. So now they're available online. It's called I Can Cope, and it covers a variety of issues, from financial issues to even your family members can go online and take these classes at your own pace, from financial issues to pain to what the side effects of treatment to okay, now I'm done with my treatment, now what, and survival issues, as well as nutrition. So there's some wonderful resources there as well.
Now, this is online?
Yes.
At cancer.org?
Cancer.org, and they just look for I Can Cope. And then you'll find a whole list of classes that you can take at any time, and that's all free of charge.
I was just going to ask, is there a charge for any
No,
of these? Because
it's
when you
all
hear
free.
online classes, it's like, for $20,
No,
for
this is
$50.
all free. It's all free, and the patient can take it, the family member can take it. It doesn't matter.
I know a lot of people going through treatments that have been diagnosed, a family member. One of their concerns is how they're going to pay for it, insurance issues.
That's huge. And we have a couple partnerships. And we have a partnership with Georgetown University, and it's called a health insurance. I'm not going to get the name exactly right, but when we have somebody who's having issues with insurance, maybe you have insurance, but they're refusing to pay, or you don't have insurance and you've been diagnosed. And these, they work with these patients. I actually had a woman come into my office, and she had a myriad of issues. She actually sat in my office with her sister. They were on the phone with our 800 number for probably an hour. And one of the places they did refer them to was this health insurance assistance. And so they are helping her advocate for things that she needed in her cancer journey. And they connected them, and then they followed her through with her.
Well, and that gives them peace of mind then.
Right,
I mean,
right,
that all of these programs are giving people peace of mind.
Right, because she was exhausted. She had exhausted all of her resources and all of her ideas. So when she left, she had a little more hope that there was help, and somebody was going to advocate for her, not just her trying to fight for herself.
These are great programs. You even have more, and they can find out more on cancer.org.
Right.
But I want to touch base before we get to the end of the program on research. Now, tell me what the American Cancer Society's research programs, how do they differ from others?
Well, our program is unique, and it's always been unique. We focus on new researchers, people that are just coming out who are probably not going to get funding anywhere else, and their ideas. It's worked really well for us. 47 of the people that we started in their research journey have gone on to win Nobel Prizes.
Oh, that's pretty darn good, I would say.
So we invest well, but our research program investigates all types of cancer. It investigates survival issues. It investigates prevention, detection. It investigates treatment options. So it's the full gamut and all cancers, and so it makes us a little bit different. And the fact that we focus on young researchers who are not going to be funded. And unfortunately, every year we get stacks and stacks nationally of programs, and then we have to pick which ones we can fund. And of course, there's always a pile of, if we had the money, we would have funded these.
Right.
So, but like I said, our research program has been involved in a lot of the major cancer breakthroughs. And another story, I happened to be taking care of myself and going to get my mammogram, was in the waiting room, had a conversation with a lady who was there, started a conversation. It turns out that she has leukemia. And we were talking, and she was telling me about her treatment. And the drug that she is being treated with was originally funded research from the American Cancer Society.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So that's one of the ways where a lot of people talk about how much of your money stays local.
Right.
Well, not all of our money stays local, and I'm not ashamed of that because it goes off to fund research programs that come back and are the treatment options that your family members are getting in the local community.
There
It
you
funds
go.
our 800 number and our website that's available all the time with cancer information and resources.
So anybody, anywhere,
Anybody, anywhere.
your resources are available
Right.
to them.
And not everybody's family all lives in the
Right.
local community.
No.
And I want my family, no matter where
Where they
live,
are, to be able to take advantage of
our
this.
programs and services. Yes.
I want to talk a little bit, because we're getting towards the end of the program, but I do want to talk about the Relay for Life.
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the Relay for Life, the event that's held here in Millcreek?
Yes. Well, our Relay for Life event, our Relay for Life is our signature program. It's our major fundraising program. And it started in 1985 with Dr. Gordon Klatt walking a track by himself. He was a cancer doctor, and he said, my patients never sleep, so he walked for 24 hours, and that started this whole movement. In this area, we have the Relay for Life of Erie Millcreek, which originally started out at McDowell High School,
Right.
But has moved. And this year, we've moved again, and we're very excited. It will be at Jerry Utt Park.
Okay.
On June 25th from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And be all kinds of new and exciting things going on. But we're always looking for people to get involved with teams or sponsors. And if you've never experienced a Relay for Life, I would really recommend you coming out. There's a portion where we recognize survivors, and that's my favorite and also cheeriest part, because that's where we can celebrate our success. These people are walking around, they're survivors, they survived cancer. And I wanted to make people understand too, you are a cancer survivor from the time of diagnosis. So from the moment you hear the words you had cancer, you are a cancer survivor. And so we recognize anybody within their journey. So we have that portion, and another portion within the Relay for Life is called our Luminarias, and that's where we recognize and honor those who have passed with candles around the track, and it's a little more solemn. And then we have a program called Fight Back, and that's where we encourage people to how can you fight back against this disease? Maybe it's walking the track, maybe it's raising money, maybe it's participating in a research study, maybe it's just taking control of your own health and going and getting screening. So how can you fight back against cancer? It's a great event. I would encourage anybody to come out.
Now, how would someone get involved with the Relay for Life? Someone's watching now and saying, well, who do I call? Do I call someone? Do I register? How does this happen?
You can call our office here in Erie at 814-866-5174, and we can connect you with, we have several relay events in the area, but we can connect you with that event. You can go online and look at relayforlife.org and look for the one in your community, and you can sign up online. We just encourage you to give us a call and form a team and come out and celebrate.
One thing about the Relay for Life, they're festive. There's a lot of fun, but they're very moving. They're solemn.
Right.
You remember why you're there. You celebrate the ones that are there, and then you remember the ones that can't join you.
Why we're still fighting this fight.
Exactly. And that is, you said, your biggest fundraiser?
That is our signature fundraiser, the largest fundraiser. We also have Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. That's a unique program in that it's the only fundraising event that we do that all the money goes for a specific type of cancer.
Okay.
And that all goes for breast cancer, whether it's research or programs and services for breast cancer patients.
Okay.
But that happens in October. It starts in Perry Square and then walks along the bluff and comes back down through the historical houses on 6th or 8th Street. And that's in October. The other event that we have locally is the Erie Premier Golf event, which is a very high-end golf event, and that helps us raise money. And it gets more of the corporate involved in the fight against, investing in the fight against cancer.
Okay, Karen, now if someone wants to get involved by help become a volunteer or even get more information. Tell me again, how can they get a hold of you?
You can always go to cancer.org, www.cancer.org, and there's all kinds of information about our volunteer programs. You can call the local office at 814-866-5174, or you can call our 800 number, which is 1-800-227-2345. Any of those ways will connect you with us, and we'll find a place for you to donate. And there's ways you can get involved. I mean, there's many ways you can get involved. You can donate, you can form teams, you can become a road volunteer or a reach volunteer or a Look Good, Feel Better volunteer, but most importantly, you can take care of your own health.
So there's room for everybody,
Right.
But it starts with you.
Right.
It starts from
That's
right within. Karen, thank you so much for joining
thank
us
you.
on the program. You guys do a wonderful, wonderful job. And I think our viewers out there, I don't think there's anybody out there that cancer has not touched them in some way.
Right.
So I wanted to get the word out and let you know what we have right here in our own backyard. They're local. They're right on West 38th Street. There's a local number. You can call, talk to someone. Karen or anybody on the staff will be glad to help you.
That's right. Thank you so much for letting us get out and say what we do. Because a lot of people know our name. They don't know what we do.
And they do now.
And they do now. Thank you.
Viewers, thank you so much for tuning into the Millcreek Government Channel. If you have any questions or want to talk to someone, please check out their website or give them a call. Until next time, thank you for tuning into the Millcreek Government Channel.
You're watching the Millcreek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.